XM Sirius now. Is that what it's called?
I don't even know what it's called. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure they got the new logo waiting.
It's going to be called the company we used to work for.
I don't want to get fired. I don't want to.
We're holding out hope, Jimmy. You never know in this business.
I don't want to get fired.
We're holding out hope. That's all we got. That's all we got.
I want to go, hey, guys, you know, we're going to get rid of the old XM facility. It's a little costly, but we got a nice new place for you here a few blocks away.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your new badges.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you would?
Sure.
Like going into that building?
I would. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new place. We have roaches in our XM building now. There's roaches in
that
the
is true.
building.
It's infested.
I'm ready to get out of that building. There's cockroaches and water bugs.
Yeah.
I can't enjoy it there anymore. The office is a mess.
How could you not enjoy it? Is the video of Pat Duffy snorting the cockroach up online yet?
God, when you hear the three of them just popping through his sinuses.
Did we link that to onaradio.com?
It just hurts. The thought of it hurts.
For the newbies trying to figure out what this show's all about, onaradio.com is a fine little website. Well, we got one of our guys. He snorted up a cockroach, and the noise was just amazing. I think it's also on YouTube, or no? Yeah. What is it under there, young Sam?
Roach Wars 2008.
Roach Wars 2008.
Roach Wars.
Yeah. Nice. All right, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna regroup and start doing our radio show. So, for the texters out there, get ready. Get ready to text.
Oh,
get ready to text. That's all I. Oh wait. Wow. I know this is radio, but this video is amazing. Roach Wars 2008 from Opie and Anthony on YouTube.
Yes.
That is disgusting. Pat Duffy snorting up a cockroach. Right before the break, we were telling you about the big merger that went down between the two satellite radio companies. And we're hearing there's going to be a bloodbath in Washington because Sirius has taken over XM. It's not a merger. So Sirius is pretty much going to use all their people and get rid of the XM people. That's a fact. Some of the XMers will survive.
Yeah.
Will we make the short list? I don't know, because someone on Instant Feedback's like, will you just tell us already if you guys have a job? We don't know. We want to continue with satellite radio, absolutely. But the fact is, we got 65 days left on our contracts, and no one's talking yet. I mean, they got other things they had to worry about, so we're hoping now that the merger is official, then maybe they come and give us a little phone call.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be scary, though, because after all those heads come off, it's like they're going to be coming up in butcher clothes. Like the blood on the front, going, son, you guys ready to negotiate? Okay.
Next.
I don't want to go anywhere.
But I hear the firings have begun, Anthony.
Really?
We got some exclusive audio of that going down.
Oh.
Yes. Here's one poor soul trying to save his job.
What you do in Initech is you take the specifications from the customers and you bring them down to the software engineers.
Yes, that's right. Well, then I just have to ask, why couldn't the customers just take them directly to the software people, huh?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because engineers are not good at dealing with customers.
So you physically take the specs from the customer?
Well, no. My secretary does that, or the fax.
So then you must physically bring them to the software people.
Well, no. Yeah, I mean, sometimes.
What would you say you do here?
Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the goddamn customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
That is absolutely what goes on behind those closed doors.
There's going to be a lot of those conversations going on in the next couple of days.
Someone's just pretty much crying to keep their job.
Yeah.
But I got people skills.
You ever fight for a job?
No, when I got fired, it was for something that I couldn't defend. It was always bad.
What was that?
Anything from, when I was a kid, just barely scraping money together at a job.
Mm-hmm.
It was always something bad. I was, pilfering or late all the time, habitually late, absent, things like that. taking extensive lunch breaks, leaving half a day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sucked. I was a very bad employee.
You ever fight for a job there, Jimmy?
Believe it or not, I've only been fired once, and I was 5 years sober when it happened.
Ooh.
Coast Lamps. Well, Coast Lighting. They were foreign-based, really high-end lighting. I was doing...
Would you like to buy a lamp?
Yes. Is your room too dark? Can you not read past 6:30 p.m.?
Ted's Lamps.
It's Ted's Lamp Service. We come over. We'll plug it right in for you.
What was your job at this lighting company?
I worked for Christoph Silver, which was a very high-end silverware place. We worked in Raritan Center in Edison. And it was a major, the shipping hub. So all the orders came through us and went out through us. And then Christoph moved back to New York City, and Leia Coast Lamps moved right into the warehouse. So I just kind of stayed, and they hired me.
Well, what would you say you did there? What was your job?
I mean, I would put the labels on the boxes and make sure that the tape wasn't coming up. Because, boy, the tape comes off. All of a sudden, you get a lamp lost.
True.
But that truck backed in, and I was right there an hour later at least. Unloading it.
An hour later.
Oh, I was horrendous. And they finally fired me. And I'd never been fired before.
Wow.
I knew I was in trouble, though, because as the shipping order came in, they brought in this Italian guy who spoke Italian and worked his ass off. And well, he's just kind of here to help you. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Just help. Good. Now I could do less work. Oh, wait a minute. I'm fired?
And I collected unemployment for 2 years and did stand-up.
See, that's how you got into
my
it.
career.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was the best move that ever could have happened to me.
Very good.
I had
lemonade.
I had a boss once. I was habitually late, just late all the time, and I guess he had it at some point. And he had talked to me so many times about it, and I just couldn't. I couldn't get up. I was very tired, very sleepy, and it was a job I hated. So I could get up for this because I enjoyed doing this, but I hated this job, so I was never on time. And he came in one day and he goes, "Why don't you just punch out and go home?" And I was like, "Oh." Because I'm late? Because, yeah. We go, okay. And I assumed he just wanted me to go home that day.
You're thinking beach day.
I took it as a day off. Like, right. Cool, I got a day off. But apparently, he never wanted me to come back.
Wasn't that your uncle?
No, he did that too. That seems to be the way I get fired.
You had that happen twice? Because as you're saying this, I'm like, well, Ant's told this story, and it was his uncle that told him not to come to work. Yeah,
it was that, and then it was at True Mechanical. And I was working in the shop there, making ductwork. And he told me, just leave, go home. Oh, day off. Rock. Oh, wait, I'm done, I'm fired. Oops.
Yeah.
Do you know I worked for Krausers? Like, I was the night guy at the...
Krausers?
You know what Krausers is? It's like, it's a little convenience store. And it was in the Brunswick Shopping Center in North Brunswick. And I would close up at like 11 p.m. And we had like a little deli area with meats and stuff, and I'd make sandwiches. And I noticed that there were little teeth prints in all of the cheeses and the meats.
Oh, boy.
And little black hash droppings. So apparently the mice had been coming in and eating and dropping little mouse duties. And it was infested. It was covered with mouse bites and mouse duty. So I remember I talked to the district manager. I'm like, I can't sell this. This is gross. And he's like, it's all right. Just fine. You can sell it.
Oh.
He saw the teeth prints and he goes, you can sell it. So he told me just to cut around the teeth prints and throw out the stuff that had been bitten into.
Well, at least he said that.
And I actually took a stand. I was like Norma Ray. I refused to sell the meat with feces in it.
Sure that worked out well for you?
I wound up just quitting, I think. I just didn't want to do it anymore, Gave him my keys. Good story, Jim.
You got to think
I liked it.
Yeah, it's great. 13 episodes should be built around it. The guy who wouldn't sell mouse duty on the cheese.
I think his little mice feet were just stomping around the meat as he's taking bites.
Oh, dragging those giant gonads that they have across the cheese. Ugh.
It was really awful. I was just stealing cigarettes in my stupid light blue Kango. Oh, what a dork. What a punchable white nerd. Stupid cracker. Oh, where's the press conference that the show got mentioned in? Or the press release?
Oh, really? That one we're not mentioned in?
I don't think any talent is.
Oh, okay.
This is just a thing
on
from
Google
Mel to all employees.
On Google Alerts, because the merger went through, they're mentioning some of the fine programs that XM and Sirius have, and we're mentioning that. So that was good. I got a little Google alert today.
Okay.
Hey, we could do the Accidental Husband trailer, another chick flick trailer.
Oh, which one is it called? Sorry, I was just reading part of Mel's statement where it's like the past few months, it's because of the hard work that went into this, that we're here today. And then this is the ominous. While there is still work to be done, I'm excited about the prospects for Sirius XM. Because you know what that work is, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old sharpening of the machete.
The old samurai sword.
I will predict the bloodbath starts today
Really?
and ends tomorrow or Thursday.
Well, no, there's a scary...
It's very obvious. I mean, people think we have inside info because we went on the air yesterday and said a lot of people are going to be fired from XM satellite radio. No, we've been through this a few times in our careers when one company takes over another company, which is what happened here. They're calling it a merger, but basically Sirius bought XM or whatever. I don't even know if you should use the word bought. It's a known thing. You want to put your own people in there for the most part.
Yeah.
There's talented people that are at XM that should stay and will stay, but in general, there's going to be a lot of people fired. Mm-hmm. That's just how it works.
This is a scary statement.
Yeah.
Because you know what it means. We will work quickly and diligently to integrate our teams.
Oh, boy.
That's bad news for some people.
Yeah, it sounds nice when you read it at first, till you delve a little deep. It's like, hey, that's good.
Yeah.
We're going to work close.
Yeah.
Work close to get the teams together.
And then, of course, the one Anthony pointed out.
Yes.
While there is still work to be done. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
We're living in some strange times as far as radio goes. Strange. We got 64 days left on our contract. Contracts. And we're hoping to continue, obviously. That's obvious.
Of course.
But I do want to acknowledge we got 64 days and counting. Hoping for a phone call. Any day now would be nice.
You don't want one today, though.
No.
Let's be honest. Today's not a good day for the phone calls.
I'm sure Mel's people are listening these days. We don't want a phone call today or tomorrow. Thursday or Friday would be nice.
Yeah. Congratulations, you made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like we're like in Full Metal Jacket when they're all sitting in a circle to see what happens. Oh, 300 infantry. You made it.
You made it. Yeah, this is kind of ominous, too. As we operate more efficiently, we will be able to innovate in new ways. And then, first and foremost, will be, quote, best of both, which is an appropriate theme for this merger and upcoming transition.
The best of both. That means
Best of both.
a lot of Sirius with a sprinkle of XM.
So what happened to...
If it was a recipe, that's what it would be.
What happens to the mediocre? The best of both will survive.
And it even says here, as we continue to operate without Opie and Anthony, we will be able to...
Hey.
Or wouldn't that raise a red flag?
I didn't read that.
That would raise a red flag.
They're keeping that huge facility down there in Washington. I imagine that there are going to be so many parking spaces available that they're going to put in a volleyball court or something.
You think that's it?
Yeah, they're just going to make a lawn where the parking spaces used to be.
Do you think they're keeping that because of the rent being lower than New York or because all the XM equipment is there?
Yes.
They have to.
Well, the equipment, yeah, they couldn't just pack it in a truck.
They should throw it on a
to
truck.
Beverly.
Bring it up here. Put it in Jersey City.
Just set up the dishes and all those studios and oh my God. Logistically, I don't know how the hell they're going to do this.
Yeah, because how's XM going to be on the air if they're like moving the whole thing?
Yeah.
Can they lift the whole building?
Oh, how are they going to carry it? Where are they going to put it? What about traffic? How about a bridge? How do you drive it under a bridge?
Or over one.
Or over.
I'm not going to believe that this merger is real.
No?
Until I see Artie Lang passed out near a vending machine.
Then you'll buy it.
Then I'll buy it, yes. Here we are at XM Sirius Radio. Huh?
Sirius XM.
Oh, Sirius XM. I don't know.
That's what they call it.
Sirius XM Radio. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. We are live. It's, I don't know, like July 30th to prove it. We got Mel Karmazin coming in about 5 or 10 minutes. Rich, when you see a guy with like white hair and dark eyebrows, that's your cue to get the fuck out of here. we gotta look like we're smart today.
Oh, please. I'm going to put on my real smart fucking face today.
Yeah, you are. Outside the studio.
It's a mask of someone else's face.
Yeah, please.
Outside the studio. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to dumb this down. We got to get into some things with Mel Karmazin. We got to see if we're going to be part of the new company. We got things to do.
What if he recognizes me or
He's
knows
not going to
recognize He might be a
recognize
fan of mine.
you.
You don't know that.
He's not a fan of yours.
Why
How
don't you
could
ask
he
him
be?
when he gets here?
Are you
Marshall Simmons didn't know you.
Why
did
would
a
he
show.
know you?
He might know him. A lot of people watch TV. I've been on a lot of TV.
He would recognize you if you were a bigwig down on Wall Street. He knows those guys. He doesn't see like faces when it comes to celebrities.
He ran Viacom.
What's that?
Exactly.
He's
a
all
company.
What's that?
You dunce.
And the place smells good. It looks good. Donnie
Would they
Wickland's
swab the deck?
Donnie Wickland's up here in a suit, and Master Poe's up here in a suit.
Trying to keep their job. I wouldn't be
told
surprised Poe makes him fill out
I
paperwork.
was just thinking of that.
Sir,
Yes.
fill out your paperwork
Yes.
and then take a seat on the bleachers.
Yes.
We cleaned up the cockroaches. The place looks very good. I know the guys worked hard on it.
Wow, look at the sign out there, huh?
Sirius XM.
Look at that.
Yeah.
man.
Who thought we'd ever see the day?
Deal go through?
Exactly. Do you understand what's
just
happening here?
hold on.
Did the deal go through?
I mean,
We understand what you mean.
Look at the
This is why.
sign.
Did they close? That's what I'm saying.
No, they didn't. We're traders. We're actually we're secretly shipping tapes to Sirius.
Yeah.
They're two separate companies.
What are you?
Well, I thought it was going to take months.
It took 18 months.
It took like a year and a half.
Rich,
What?
really?
This is
No,
why.
I'm serious.
I know
you're
you're
serious.
serious.
I was reading.
And this is Sirius XM Radio, so you're in the right place.
as of right now. Right now.
Yeah.
As of yesterday, the day before, this
long?
is
They've
right
signed
the
the
second the deal
paperwork.
went through.
Yes, they have signed the paperwork.
Can someone let us know?
Wow. Done.
Can someone let us know when say that a certain boss is on the elevator, so we can empty a certain seat?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want it, I want it to be done violently. Okay. If you could humor me with that, Mars.
Wow.
You have to leave.
I will. Maybe for a few, I'll go out.
Yeah, you're just too
What?
stupid to be in the same room.
No, but here's the thing, Rich. We love you, but you'll make some kind of a joke. You'll say something that makes us go, we really don't like him that much.
Yeah.
We'll have to defend ourselves.
Exactly.
to
Where I
Mel.
go, that happened.
Exactly.
That's why we didn't have an audience here. We're
Exactly.
trying to play this one right.
It's
No
a-
audience, no dummies, just
Well,
me,
how long do you think he's going to be
Anthony,
here?
and
He's not going to
Jim
be here the
Norton.
whole time, is he?
He'll
Wherever
probably
he-
do an awkward 10 minutes and get the fuck out.
Oh, then I'll come back in. All
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
comes
you can
in,
do
I'll
that.
go, hey, guys, I'm going to leave now. I have something to
Look,
do.
we don't care what you do before or after.
Yeah. We're not concerned with your plans.
It's the during part.
Yeah.
You know, when he's in here, you can't really be in here. You
Yeah.
didn't even know if the deal went through.
You didn't know what
Kinda
Viacom
did.
was.
I
This
did.
is one for the adults, Rich.
Listen, I'm serious. When it comes to this kind of shit, I'm good at it.
You're not good at
Oh,
And what?
are you?
Hamstring? Getting out? Let's hope so.
When it
Yeah.
comes to meetings and bigwigs.
Yeah.
How many
I'm really
times have
good.
you been told to leave or just quiet? Has Bonnie told you that at
My
pitch meetings?
first-
Like,
my first
you just
wife-
shut up. You just don't talk.
The last pitch meeting we had last week, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, Rich.
So, and I'm good
Glad
in
to hear
this.
it.
What I'm saying. What I'm saying is because
Oh,
as
Cream
an
Pie
adult,
Jones has to go too.
Like, I
Hide Cream Pie Jones.
He can walk around.
No,
No.
he shouldn't be seen.
No.
He shouldn't be seen.
See, well, I'm going to tell you why people like you guys.
Why don't we
you're
line
good.
up everybody and decide if they should stay or go? Rich
good idea.
is so out.
Rich
Cream
is
Pie
done.
Jones. And Danny's got a hat on,
Danny's
hiding
in.
the crazy hair, so you're good.
Danny's
Look at
in.
that.
We might have to tell Sam to go.
Look at Sam.
Sam's got his hair's wacky.
Although Mel does like hiring minorities because he's got quotas to fill. So you stick around there, Sam. Okay. You're good. Mars, I think, should leave.
Yeah, me too.
You're not taking it. Where's the nice shirt today? Look at what Poe's wearing.
Yeah.
You know what? This is. I've learned this in my career many times.
Career?
You guys are where you're at because of who you are. You can't switch up. You can't
We're not switching
do you
up.
understand?
We're the same people. We just took a shower today.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing.
He thinks he's saying is don't sell out because the boss is here.
Right.
That's what we have to deal with. I want to spill hot coffee all over your
It's
little
not
balls.
that hot. That's what I'm mad about.
Okay. And Mars has to be here because what if something breaks? Who else will come in and not fix it?
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, before Mel gets here, I do want to say one thing. Bubba, the love sponge, is calling us deal breakers. He basically said that if O&A is part of the new company, that is the deciding factor for him to, I guess, leave satellite radio.
Whatever.
I think Bubba has a footprint in his ass, and he needs an excuse, like he's leaving on his own.
A lot of people are saying that.
Of course,
he's making up his own excuse because maybe the future isn't bright for Bubba and satellite radio.
Because I could give a crap who works for the company.
Who cares?
It doesn't matter to me. I've worked for plenty of places where I've liked and didn't like some of the people that work there. What are you going to do? So, deal, bro. I refuse to work here if
you don't even like the people you do the show with,
and
that's not a deal breaker.
A deal breaker.
Yeah, he said. What was the quote? It's on New York Radio message board. It's a deal breaker to him. Shut the fuck up.
Break it.
He's as dumb as they come.
At least he talks in his
stupid.
At least he talks in his real voice.
Wow, it's a deal breaker. Wow.
He really is horrible.
He's the worst.
Beat it. Back to Tampa, fat boy.
Like he thought there was going to be outrage. Like, okay, Bubba, okay, we'll talk this out, okay.
Don't you have to have some kind of a deal or power of negotiation to have a deal breaker? Like you can't walk in if no one really cares and goes, hey, that's a deal breaker, because then they'll just go, okay.
Broken.
Yeah, it's like somebody that's just like the greeter at a Walmart walking up going,
sure,
you know, I want this, and if you don't give it to me, it's a deal breaker.
That's right. Either Frank gets fired from receiving or I quit.
Yeah. It's not like they just go, okay, leave. Who cares?
Yeah, no one go. Don't even announce it. Just leave. People will notice.
You guys want to take a quick break, get some leaks in and all that stuff, and get Rich out of here?
Want me to carry this until you get back, and then I'll leave?
Carry it.
Yeah, carry it.
No,
I'll be right back. No one's
okay.
going anywhere. Fuck it.
I'm not saying anything.
Don't say anything.
I'm not bailing him out.
What do you mean?
Don't say anything. I just got to take a leak. Yeah, we don't have to
okay. Well, you know, today is a very important day. After the merger, there's some big wigs come in. So if we do take calls,
now I have to. No, I don't want it to screw things up for me.
If we do take some calls, some intelligent ones today, keep the cursing to a minimum, and we'll get back to normal in about a half an hour.
Who's going to take calls?
Do you think we would take a call?
Well, we're probably not going to take calls. But what I'm saying is, so now's your time to, go get some breakfast, do whatever, and call in later.
Who, the audience? We want the audience to listen.
Oh.
You're encouraging the audience to go get breakfast?
Oh, my God.
You're not helping.
You are
We don't want any listeners during this?
An abomination.
Let me start over. Are we on the air?
Of course we are.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm going to Sunnyvale next week in California. Rooster Teeth Feathers, so stop by.
Hey, here's Rooster Teeth Feathers.
Yeah, it's a club. It's a nice little club.
You're performing at a place called Rooster Teeth Feathers?
Really? All of a sudden, your comedy club names are original or not crazy or a name, big deal. They're all whatever.
Oh, my God. Is he just babbling?
We should make him do the Mel interview. We should all sit silently and make him.
Oh, God.
It would almost be worth getting dumped for.
Yeah.
Just to watch the shame that he feels.
The dummy.
Talking to a powerful person.
Dummy.
What do you mean powerful? Powerful.
Shut your mouth.
Money doesn't make you powerful.
You're the
Being
worst.
a good person makes you
What did I
powerful.
miss?
I have no idea what you're even talking about.
No, we're listening to Voss recite the lyrics from a Huey Lewis song. Being a nice person doesn't make you powerful.
Yes, it does.
Shut up, it does
doing
not.
the right thing in life makes you powerful.
What?
That makes you powerful. Doing the right thing.
Does it really?
Life.
Affirmations in the mirror? No, it doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
I am powerful.
Yeah. Just because you're powerful, does it at the end?
So it matters if Reagan was a nice guy?
What's that?
It matters if Reagan was a nice guy?
No, he was a powerful guy.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is power is from within. What makes you feel powerful?
I hope you're thinking that as your car slams into an abutment. As you go through the windshield and your little feet.
That's really. Do you think that's a nice thing to wish on a person?
No.
Okay,
it's not.
I happened to my mother on her honeymoon. My mother and father. Luckily, I'm here because on their honeymoon.
That explains it.
on their honeymoon, they went through over an embankment down. Both of them went through the windshield. If a tree didn't stop the car, they would have went through the windshield and into the water.
Wait, so you got brain damage before you were born?
That's what happened.
No, I'm
Hit in the stomach and
They were
hit
both
the
on their
drive shaft.
Both on their
In
honeymoon.
the stomach, 6-year-old.
Bloody on the windshield on their honeymoon. That's why their marriage didn't work out.
How about that? So something like that coming.
You think that's why the marriage didn't work out? Or maybe the disappointment bringing home D's. They couldn't handle anymore. They blamed each other for you. Like,
Little Richie Voss
I
coming
tried
home
to teach him.
with another crappy report
It
card.
was always their favorite.
How many were there?
3. Me, my brother, and my sister.
Yeah, the ones the brother and sister are probably doing well, so they would say to Rich, like, "You're our favorite." They were just appeasing you.
Meanwhile,
They
you
hated
weren't
the
really.
thought of you.
You weren't really the favorite.
Should we, what's the deal, Steve?
Steve.
We got lookouts?
So I can get up.
Plenty of them.
So what do we got?
He's walking up from 30 Rock right now, so we'll get a heads up when he's up or down the block.
He's walking all the way here from 30 Rock.
Yeah, that's a whole 3 blocks, Rick.
See if you know Mel
Rich.
also. Mel walks a lot in New York City when it's nice out.
Yeah.
He's always walked around. Used to see him walking from the NEW building over to Black Rock, back in the old days of CBS.
We used to say hi to him, and he would just be annoyed that we were saying hi to him.
Well.
He just was always annoyed.
What comics would you let stay here? Like, would you let Bobby stay here?
No.
No.
What about Patrice?
No, not Patrice.
Patrice?
No.
Patrice is the worst.
Mel! No.
Okay.
No.
Colin, you'd let stay
Why
there.
do white people? No, he wouldn't.
Colin, what do you mean? He's
No.
intelligent.
You
Yeah,
understand how Colin will just say awful shit. Colin's intelligent. but
Colin's
he's-
too bitter.
Yeah.
I don't
To
think
see a
that's a good
successful,
move, by the way.
powerful businessman, he would have to mouth off to him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bad. I think
We know
Colin's-
you don't.
There's
But
not
trust
one
me.
comic that I would want in this room.
Not one out of the crew.
No.
What about Nick? Nick would be good.
No. Nick wouldn't be good.
Why don't you leave?
Now he's probably only a couple. Give me time
to do what?
I'm gonna leave.
Why don't you go
I don't
downstairs and be a lookout? And
Yeah.
You could phone us when he comes in.
right.
You just be the lookout guy.
This is great.
That's an important position.
Finally,
Yeah.
it's been like 7 years since I've been coming here, and I'm finally getting kicked out.
No one's kicking you out.
You know, I should be. I wouldn't want the pressure of sitting here when he's in here.
It's not kicked
Because-
out. It was just the thing was that when this came down,
Yeah, I don't blame. Hey, listen.
no one
Everyone
could
is
be in
saying,
here.
Rich, get the fuck out.
Now,
Everybody
Rich-
on Instant Feedback.
They
Everybody.
are only allowing me to stay out of a sense of loyalty.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Danny is here.
Mel is extremely intimidating. Extremely.
Not if you have nothing to lose like me.
No, I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
You have a wife and
It just sounds-
3 kids. What do you mean you have nothing to lose? You have everything to
Nothing
lose.
I'm right, rebel.
Exactly. What do you think? You're not Jimmy Dean.
Yeah.
You're an older
You
gentleman. who
have
chews
things to
Nicorette.
lose.
Yes, exactly.
You have 2 families.
Cold coffee. You suck.
Jimmy, someone's saying that you sound nervous. Are you nervous?
No.
I'm just pointing out
Yeah,
what's going
absolutely.
on.
No, I actually feel.
Okay.
I feel fine.
All right. You know what? I'm going to scram now. Maybe I'll go do some commercials or something. And you know how we do the commercials here for my gigs and stuff.
Are you still talking?
Yeah.
Why don't you go?
Hey, do you really have season 5 of The Wire?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I swear
I
to
have
God.
all of them.
Not 5. It hasn't come out yet.
No, I swear
Why
to
would
God.
I say all of them? Would he say not 5?
You have
Not
5,
5, though.
Well, because 5 hasn't been released yet. But yeah, we got Roland that, gets this stuff for us, so we're prepared for interviews.
Yeah.
He's in
All
the
right.
elevator?
All right, get out of here.
Oh, my
Look at
God.
Rich. Rich, leave. Just leave. Remember, this is light and airy. It's a how do you do, not an inquisition.
Look at Anthony.
Go
He's the
stand
one
there.
that's nervous.
Light and airy.
Look, Eric Logan, he gave me a speech yesterday. He goes, could you please be Greg Hughes and not Opie?
Exactly.
And look, Eric Logan, don't F it up. They're coming in like crazy. Another one from Logan. Tell Rich to get the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to
This is
tell
a
Rich
pretty
to
big
get out of there.
thing here. Where do you want
No, over there.
No, I'm sitting next to
No,
you.
don't screw with me. Right
Then
there.
you better remove that chair because I'm going
That's
to have
good.
him take a seat right there.
Oh, that's the good spot right there. You got it.
That's not good. That means he's close to me. I want him to be
Nah,
close
but
over
you
there.
like that's a
No.
better seat because this way you're kind of looking over the whole thing.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, then, Ant, switch seats with me.
Nope.
Please.
I'm staying right here.
Guys
There
are
I
arguing
am.
over 6 inches of real estate.
I'm right here.
I think it's very funny that the instant feedbackers were even turning on Voss. Just
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
get him out.
Boss is the worst. You don't want him around. Guy's kryptonite.
What is Mel's
Success kryptonite.
What's Mel's opening line going to be?
Hello.
Yeah.
Nah, he's
Eric Logan Elo just sent me a text too. Tell Voss to get out.
yeah. Everyone's saying it. Where did Rich go?
Right there.
No, Rich, hide.
Oh, Rich, get out of here,
No, let him
please,
look through the
Rich.
window. Let him look through the window. I don't mind if Rich looks through the window.
Yeah.
God,
Voss
Rich.
can stare through the window, but he
Oh,
can't
no,
speak.
he's too creepy looking anyway, Rich.
We'll just tell everybody he's a listener.
Rich is like a hyena. Oh, no, Rich is shaking hands with him.
Yeah.
They kicked me out.
He was hoping Mel would go, wait, I know you.
Yeah.
Wait, haven't I seen you on something?
No, he doesn't know you. Please. Here he is. It's Mel Karmazin. Mel, have a seat.
How are you, Jim?
Jim, nice to see you.
Hi. Anthony, how are you, sir?
I didn't know that.
Hey, Mel, how are you?
Who's this other person?
Greg Hughes, we like to call him.
It's Greg Hughes today.
We don't like the Opie. We don't like the Opie character much. So Greg Hughes today, I think, is
that would be
more
good.
fitting.
And did you purposely give me a chair that's down so low?
Why isn't Mel's chair up higher?
No, if that was the strategy, I understand, and I'm happy to deal with it. And also headsets that don't sort of fit on your head.
Instantly.
So,
Why is this not?
I assume the company you work for has not given you the resources that
Well,
you need.
Mel, that's something I'd like to talk to you about. Yes,
Is that-
they've been. We call them skinflints.
Is that the point?
They've
Okay.
been a little stingy.
We have a cockroach problem in this building. A major cockroach problem.
And it was before you guys got there?
Perhaps a couple
Is that a new problem?
It's
or is
been
that one
multiplying for the last, I don't know,
It could
2
be
years.
the material that comes out of the speakers.
Sure. Mel, you trimmed down since the last time we saw you.
I've been on a hunger strike trying to get the deal done.
Yeah.
So I knew that making good arguments to the regulators didn't work. So I tried anything. I thought they'd be sympathetic if they knew that there was a poor guy who's getting, IV feeding, in a cell, but at the end of the day, they did the right thing.
Did you think it was going to take this long? Honestly.
Well, a couple questions on that. One is, did I think it would get done? And I believed it should get done, but throughout the whole process, I really questioned whether it will get done. I
I think everybody was.
And there were legitimate reasons for concern based on a lot of the stuff, that you read. Did I think it would take this long? Absolutely not. Because, maybe I'm making it simplistic. It's, okay, you got 2 satellite radio companies. Either you believe that they compete with a whole lot of other things, and if they do, no big deal, okay? And if you think that there's a separate market, called satellite radio, and oh my God, having only one company in satellite radio is bad, then you should be able to conclude that in a rather short period of time.
Yeah, it shouldn't have taken so long. I think you proved a good point, too, by saying and pointing out early on that it does compete with everything else, with all this other medium out there. And I think now it's more obvious than it was even when we tried to get this thing started. But it's a little more obvious now. But back then, it was kind of hard to sell them on the fact that, yes, this is competing with iPods and iPhones and everything else.
Wait, you said when we got this thing going. You were
I say
you were
we.
in cahoots with
That's
Mel
what I'm
Karmazin?
trying to.
It was you
yeah,
and Mel getting this thing done.
Late night phone calls.
I've been getting, obviously emails every time my name gets mentioned on the show. So I'm assuming everything that you guys have done has been done to help get this merger.
Absolutely.
So
Mel,
you've been
of course.
You guys have been part of the team.
Yes, we're
of getting.
I'll be honest with you, Mel. It's more what we didn't say than what we did say to get this merger through, to tell you
Well,
the
boy,
truth.
that's pretty tough because I heard some of the things that you said, and I didn't think there was anything left that wasn't said. But let me get to your point. And one of the things that I was hopeful of, and I even told our board 17 months ago that this would be very important, was that we needed the broadcasters to be very aggressive in opposing the merger. Now,
And they were the NAB, yeah.
Thank God, because if in fact their strategy were smarter and the NAB didn't try to oppose it, we had the benefit now of all of these people saying, stop the monopoly, and the smart people in Washington are saying, well, gee, if this is a monopoly, why do you care? Okay? I mean, the fact that you care and the fact that you've spent so much money and the fact that, terrestrial radio broadcasters have lobbied so hard proves that we're in a competitive market that would at least include the 10,000 AM/FM radio stations. So add to that the technology changes that continue to go on, internet radio, iPhones, whatever is out there, and there'll be more. So the fact that this merger occurred is great news, but there's still a tremendous amount of competitors out there that we compete with.
Sure. You were on the other side of it for a short time too when satellite radio started taking hold on regular radio and
tried to kill it. Tried to kill it.
You absolutely. I remember the ads that would run and it was all about bashing it and trying to. So you obviously had great insight on what a threat it was.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't see any good reason why satellite radio was necessary coming from a very, very successful, one of the largest, if not the largest, terrestrial radio company. There was nothing in it for me with satellite radio.
Right.
All I knew is that when you got into your car, you had an AM and an FM button. The last thing I wanted you to have was an XM button.
Another
that was
button,
the
right.
last thing I wanted. The worst nightmare came when satellite radio not just came together, but really started to grow, and the broadcasters, in not liking competition, talk about people who want a monopoly, not wanting competition, did everything they could do to make us fail. I mean, their goal was not to just stop the merger. Right. The reason they wanted to stop the merger, if you think about it, I mean, why would stop the merger matter? There'd still be satellite radio, there'd still be XM, there'd still be Sirius. The reason they wanted to stop it is they believed standalone we would be weaker, maybe fail. Now, I mean, I've spoken to the management of XM throughout this process, and they believed that XM would not fail. I mean, I didn't run the company, didn't know enough about it. I can assure you, you never assure anybody of anything, but I can tell you, I strongly believe there was no risks associated with Sirius not making it.
Right, you'd still be going merger or not.
I mean, it may take a year or two more to make a profit. I mean, at some point you got to make a profit, right? But the fact is that the broadcasters' hope was not just that the merger wouldn't happen, okay? That would be a step in the right direction, but satellite radio would disappear.
Yeah, go away.
These same broadcasters were the ones that fought against cable television. So when, it was just the broadcast networks and stuff like that, and cable was coming in, the NAB lobbied against cable. They lobbied against satellite television. So that's what they do. And that's...
Yeah. I never got the idea of how they could say that it's not competing, that it's a monopoly if the companies merge, but hey, we're not competing with them. Yet we are trying everything in our power to keep them down and destroy them. And
one of the things they did, which I can't tell you how much influence it had, because I really don't know, because it really got down to the very end, and it's 2-2, and is this thing going to happen and stuff. They put a banner on their building. They have this, they have a lot of money, right? All the broadcasters, put the money to them, and they had a banner on their building that said, "Stop the monopoly." Okay. And we took pictures of it, right? And we sent it to everybody who was on our list, because our viewpoint was the fact that they're doing it. I mean, they're not lobbying every merger that goes on. Well, why the hell should
would they care?
Yeah. Why should, if we are a duopoly on our way to a monopoly, by definition, they're not in that pie.
Right.
And the fact that they, thank goodness for it, and my hat's off to the head of the NAB. I think that
David Weir.
I think we all owe him but when Saturday, when I finally get to celebrate on this merger, I will be toasting him first before I toast anyone
Basically,
else.
what Mel's doing right now, he's rubbing it in. He's
why not?
How happy are you?
And why
Mel?
not?
If I knew he was listening, I would be doing more. But
Sure.
I'm just assuming. I'm just telling you the guys.
The word's going to get out there, and you're rubbing it
I'm
in.
just giving
Was
this.
there a most frustrating thing that happened? Because for a while they were like, yeah, it's going to go through. It could be any day, could be any day, could be any week, and then it wouldn't happen. Was there one thing that happened during this whole process where you were like, this is a major problem?
No, I thought this was a major problem every step of the way, because they made it a major problem. But I never was the one saying it's going to be any day. So it was the press, it was different people saying it. So I sort of knew what was going on. And I never knew, and it wasn't going to be over until it was over. So on Friday of last week, we got word that the third commissioner, at that point it was 2-2, and we got word that the third commissioner had voted for the merger. But I still had not gotten the official notice that said the FCC had approved it. We didn't, so I wasn't even celebrating at that point. So it wasn't until we got the final word, which was about 4 o'clock on Monday, and then we had to finish raising a bunch of money that we needed because I don't want to get complicated, but XM had a bunch of debt. We needed to raise $1,250,000,000 to refinance that debt. That was a change of control. This market, is sort of not a great market to raise money in. So until Monday night at 7 o'clock, when we got the money, did I finally press the button to close the merger, and we closed it by 8 o'clock. But it was, a long process, including 4 congressional hearings. A senator met with me privately and said that if I would agree to apply the same indecency rules that broadcast radio has, that he would support the merger.
A senator very close to the NAB, probably one of those.
A senator, very influential senator, that obviously close to the NAB, as a lot of them are, because again, the NAB is, with all due respect, is probably one of the most powerful lobbying organizations in Washington. All of the congressmen and senators spend an awful lot of money and want to get reelected, and the television stations and the radio stations are very important for them, and they're in their community, and they represent their constituency. So with all due respect, for the, congressional process, there were many people who were against the merger. And these, as far as the congressmen who wrote letters and the senators who wrote letters, they're helping their constituents. I mean, they don't feel that they're doing something to interfere with our merger. They're saying, if somebody who is in my district is having a problem, I'm going to try to help that person that's in my district.
How do you answer somebody, though, that says that they want to put the same restrictions in place and FCC regulations on satellite radio?
Well, very simple. The answer is just no.
Very good.
It was
nice
really,
to hear. Okay.
I mean, it was just really, it was not a long discussion about it. And if I needed to elaborate, is that people have decided that they want to pay $12.95 a month. That it's not over-the-air broadcasting where you're worried about children listening. That this is a pay service, and it would be the same argument that MTV has, or the same argument that HBO has, or any of the cable channels have. So unless someone was going to try to enact a law that said that you couldn't, broadcast these words and these discussions on cable or satellite television and satellite radio, and if the Supreme Court were to uphold that, then it would become law. But for that happening, there's nothing the FCC can do or anything like that, nor should they do it.
Hey, let's get to the bottom of the issue here. Did you or did you not bring pink slips for us?
No.
Pink slips. A lot of people I know Mel. He's going there just to fire the guys.
Well, which I would laugh really hard about, by the way.
Well, no, I mean, it didn't hurt you that I did that once.
Yeah.
That was a very profitable deal for you guys.
That was kind of fun.
I mean, anyway, so
this is the first time we've seen you since since that whole awful thing went down 6 years ago. By the way, we have not been in contact. First time we've talked, and Ant and I are very used to meeting you when we were in trouble. We never had the nice meeting.
We had one nice meeting in the office upstairs.
Well, you guys just weren't nice. So what would happen, would be that I was always this charming, nice guy, and you guys would just be dicks and come up into my office and be the way you guys are. And
there's also, they can be dicks.
Well,
but there's no need to
Jimmy,
I'm
that's
just
Jim
saying,
Norton,
if
by the
someone
way.
has to get fired, a lot of us could stay.
How satisfying was it to watch Eric Logan run out of the building with his tail between his legs before you got there?
Oh, and let me tell you, I was a big, and still am, a huge Eric Logan fan. Eric worked for me in terrestrial radio.
Well, I'm talking about the Eric Logan that works for XM.
Well, no, I think he has grown and gotten more experience. I saw Eric yesterday, and I am absolutely a fan. And as a matter of fact, Eric has decided that he was going to move on. But had Eric not made that decision, there was a very important position, and he knows it. And he knows it.
The trash has to go out. I understand.
Yeah,
it does have to be taken out of the building.
With the old in with the new.
And the windows have to be washed, and it's a very important position.
So I guess, so you guys are not Eric Logan fans?
No, we love Logan.
He actually kept us safe.
He's
the last 4 years.
no, he's a great
we
friend.
We finally
Love the
decided,
guy.
Mel, after the big fuck up, that we were going to like listen to somebody finally.
Nah. well, then maybe then I'll bring the pink slips out, because you guys listening to somebody is something I don't think would exactly work.
When you sit out 2 years, 3 months, you have a lot of time to think, and you're like, you know what, maybe it's time to listen to somebody in this business.
And by the way, you know, I mean, because I every time you guys talked about me, people made it a point.
Oh, it's entertainment, Mel. You understand that?
I absolutely do. No, I absolutely do.
And they probably got it wrong in the translation.
They made it a point to give me, you know, the tapes
stuff
of it, right? So I'm aware of it. But the one thing, as I said, I think that was unclear, okay, is that I followed the contract. In other words, if in fact
you're a contract guy, you always have been.
But if in fact there was a contract that basically said that, you know, we didn't have the right to take you off the air.
Believe me.
Then that would have been a scummy thing to do.
There was a point we wished you didn't follow the contract because we wanted to work again.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, the fact that we were smart, okay, insofar as designing a contract that provided us with the ability to do what we did was honorable, may not have been liked by you, and I wouldn't like it at all. I mean, I totally agree and
Why
understand.
didn't you let us work again?
Well,
why did you make
us
sit out for 2 years?
Well,
were we competition at that point?
Absolutely. I thought you guys were terrifically talented. I mean, it wouldn't. I mean, I sort of was involved in hiring you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. Remember that?
So at this point, I thought that you guys were absolutely terrific. I thought that you were great talent. And why on earth, if I can pay you not to compete with me, would I want you to compete? So on one hand,
that was frustrating.
On one hand, well, talk to
the money
your lawyer.
was good.
I don't know who wrote. I don't know who wrote the contract, but if you didn't want me to be able to do that, it shouldn't have been in the contract that you guys signed.
Who read those things though? Who reads those things?
Well, that's good to know.
That's good to know.
That's good to know. So no, I mean, I thought that decision was an easy one, you know, and even during the process, somebody came along and said, well, you know, what if we gave you some money, you know, to let you out? And, you know, that
and
concept,
other things. There was whatever.
Yeah, there was a bunch of other things.
I don't want to rehash stuff,
but none of them.
It was a tough thing to sign.
They didn't give me enough of an incentive,
right?
To, you know, to not have you compete. I
don't want to bring up the reason why we had to meet with you, but it's one of our favorite stories in radio ever. We fucked up many times, but on this particular occasion, we got the call that we had to see you on January 2nd. This city was cleared out. There was no one in Manhattan. And Anthony and I walk up to your huge office, and you made us wait 20 minutes, which was very calculated. I'm wiping my hand because I'm sweating. Like, I don't want to, you know, he can't see me sweat. And then you walked in with the most classic line ever. You want to say that?
Oh, that one, yeah. That was, the question's boggled me for years.
Yeah,
it's not really a question.
There's no real answer.
No
to
answer
this question.
to it. It was, what time do you wake up in the morning and decide you're going to fuck Mel Karmazin? And I'm like, that isn't even, it's already been predetermined that you're gonna. It's just, what time is it?
So the reason I kept you waiting is I needed to have the right opening line. So it's
that was it.
Were you practicing the line in your office?
So you got to just give me a clue as to what the subject was this time.
It was a Howard thing.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, it was
here was the deal.
We're really trying not to go down that road.
Well,
right
I don't know.
But it was a Howard thing, and Ed and I were sitting there like, do we answer? Do we say 10 o'clock? Do we say 11? Do we say we don't do this?
Yeah.
What was the answer to that question?
There's no answer.
I don't know. I guess the answer is that you guys don't sleep a lot. I mean, I thought you had a death wish. In other words, I just assumed you had a death wish because I had made it very clear that, this is a business, okay? And in this business, we make a whole bunch of money, a whole lot of money from Howard Stern. Just a tremendous amount. As a matter of fact, when CBS let him go, their revenue, $200 million affected when Howard left.
Sure.
Good or bad, $200 million. Why on earth would I want anybody, anybody who works for me to hurt me insofar as hurting my money? So I didn't see from, you guys got a First Amendment right, but I got a First Amendment right as to what goes on my radio stations. So you got a right to say things, and I got a right to not have you say it, and we then have a point. So it wasn't.
And
if you guys made,
that's where the death wish was, because we wanted to just fight it out.
And you wanted to
we
sit
were brave
there
enough to just fight it out, and figured, he's strong enough that he could just fight back.
Oh, he could, but the winner would have been Clear Channel, and the winner would have been, of course, because you divide and you diminish. Let's assume there's a scenario, okay,
right.
and let's take your scenario where you might. I don't know whether you'd ever have damaged Howard, but let's assume the attempt was to do that, and therefore you accomplished it, and you took something away from Howard. That would make, when we went to advertisers, because we were getting a whole lot of money there, we would get less. And who would get more would be these other broadcasters that we competed with, because we were as prepared to sell you in the same way, and we had general managers that worked for you. So I think it was just misguided. I mean, I think, in my opinion, it's sort of the team. You're on a team. Okay. Right. And instead of worrying about the opponent, you're fighting with the guys on the team. And forget whether Howard, I mean, if I could have a conversation with Howard about what he did as well. But for this conversation here, you guys decided to fight with the quarterback. Okay. As important as you guys were on the team, and you decided, instead of worrying about going after Scott Shannon or going after
we went all those guys. We went after everybody. I just want to
so much more mature now, though, Mel, and that's water under the bridge.
Does that mean the shows have become more boring? I hope not. I hope not.
I never thought of asking about congressional hearings to lighten it up.
No, this is fun. This is good, though. I think it's really good. I just want to, one more point, we can move on. I just want to let you know that at the time, our goal was to make sure Howard didn't hurt our stock. That was the only thing we weren't actually trying to, knock him out of the game. We were making sure he wasn't going to knock us out of the game. And that's where the confusion was, because we saw growing up what he did to other radio shows, and it was ugly, man. These guys had massive ratings in their cities and stuff, and Howard was able to just wipe them off the map. That scared the shit out of us when we came to New York, into his backyard, and that was our whole goal going into that. Maybe it got confusing, and there was a gray area, but our whole thing was, let's make sure he doesn't do to us what he did to DeBella and the rest of them.
And that's the area that I think that you guys and I had a disagreement, because
absolutely.
You guys thought, okay, that he was doing that, okay, and maybe he did, okay. In other words, I did not hear that or sense that, okay, and I had told you had as a matter of fact, the program director, so that when you guys left, it wasn't about me dumping it on you guys. The general manager left. Everybody who was responsible
for the
left.
Sex for Sam thing.
And and because not so much that event, but the sense was that I had made clear what would work in our company. Okay, and it appeared that there was a willful violation of what I had made clear to the general manager at the time would be acceptable. So if Howard was violating anything that you thought was hurting your brand and hurting you, that didn't come to me. It came to me, when you guys reacted on the air.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was the history.
I just want to finally get my point out there, whether it's right or wrong. That's really what our thinking was back then.
I like the other idea that said you guys had a death wish. I think rather yours.
We sort of did. You see where you put us, NEW? I mean, you could have helped us out a little bit.
He's heard.
You could put us on Howard
times.
Station in New York, and we wouldn't have had a death wish. That would have been amazing for everybody involved.
And as a matter of fact,
NEW sucked except for our show.
So
and Ron and Fez, who started doing a really good job at the end there.
So do you remember Tom Chisano?
Sure.
Oh, sure.
Didn't you work for Tom?
Yeah, we love Tom now.
Tom's great.
We used to hate that guy.
Tom is great and remains a good friend.
We love Tom.
Tom was the general manager of that radio station.
He used to call us up.
Tom did not want you guys on I'll tell you, it wasn't because of your talent. Didn't want you on in the afternoon because he believed that he had a controversial morning show that some advertisers weren't going to advertise on. Yeah. So he wanted a station that would have an ability to have those national advertisers someplace else. Right. So it was Tom, because in my opinion, from a image point of view, from a brand point of view, I mean, it would have become what, in essence, Howard did with his channel, on the other satellite radio company.
You could say Sirius. You own it now.
Well, no, I know I could say it. I just don't want to, disrupt your listeners.
We've been saying the other company for too long. It's Sirius XM Radio.
No, but I mean, I think that Howard, had a vision for a channel that would have have all kinds of content that would be really compelling and, very different than everyone else. And it would have fit perfectly, but the advertising scenario wasn't attractive.
I remember one nice meeting we had with you, and man, Mel had the best office in Manhattan, the greatest view ever. You saw 9/11 happen from your office.
I'll never forget.
I remember we talked about that, but you were like, man, I just wish you guys and Howard would just get along, and maybe I could somehow get you guys together. And you were starting to try to figure something out.
And now we're one big happy family.
And then we did the Sex with Sam thing. Well, we're just getting some of this out, and then we can move on with the future.
But more importantly, is Charlie Rose a nice guy? You did a hell of an interview on Charlie Rose.
I'll tell you, I've known Charlie for a long time, and he is a hell of a guy, and he's a great interviewer. And I just did CNBC before I came over here, and you get like 6 minutes, and the idea is, I want to talk. If I'm going to be interviewed, I don't want to have a soundbite. And Charlie gives you an hour, and it's great, and he's smart, and he's terrific.
He's not intimidated by anybody. I watched him talk to Schwarzenegger and Bloomberg together, and he agreed with them, and certain things. He holds a paper and puts his hand up, and he'd stop them, and he'd give like a real interview. It wasn't like a fluff interview.
Yeah, no, he's terrific. He's really good. What a boring question that was.
And
I know. Speaking of nervous. I'm getting very nervous.
He was just turning the truck. He was turning the truck around.
I think he's trying to demonstrate that if for any reason you guys weren't around, that there's a role for him on one of our news talk stations.
He's still there.
He's Charlie Rose. I'm Jimmy Mortgage. I don't want to lose
Jimmy Mortgage. Hey, have you checked out the XM research?
No, I was
because Eric said we did great for XM.
So
but it was reported in Arbitron that we didn't do so great, and it doesn't make sense. Something doesn't. Got
it. So I feel very comfortable being able to talk about anything I know, right? So the Department of Justice.
Yeah, you're not allowed to look at that stuff until the merger goes through. I understand that.
So the first time I was able to get to XM was yesterday. So I showed up at XM yesterday, had a town hall meeting with the employees. First time I got to do that. Have not seen any, contracts at all. Have not had access to any information. Have no idea about anything other than the fact that lately I've been getting emails from your fans.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Knock it off.
Oh, my God.
What are you trying to do?
Ruin us?
There's an attached photo.
What did they write now?
So you should assume
they might be Howard fans, make them believe they're our fans. That's all I want to say.
Then that would explain it. The reason that they were doing that.
Were they positive emails like congratulations on the...
Yeah. Boy, Mel, you're one hell of a guy.
Yeah.
What a great company you built.
If you get rid of O&A, let me tell you what's going to happen. Let me know. So can I really fast? I listened in on the conference call on the train yesterday. I want to thank you because my elbow is sore because I was like this for an hour.
What conference call?
With the employees.
Oh,
yesterday.
was that? Oh, I didn't know you could even access it.
Yeah, we were all listening in.
Oh, okay.
And there's two things I want to bring up. Who fainted during the meeting?
So
all of a sudden I hear, are you all right? And then you're like, whatever. Just drag her out. I got things to do here.
So good thing this is radio, so people might be able to believe what I'm going to say. So because of my startling good looks, that very often when I take the stage, women swoon over me and collapse. So it's just scary. So we're having this room. It's a horrible facility to do it. We have a whole hundreds of people cramped, standing up in this thing. And at some point, I didn't know if it was a woman or a man. About halfway through it, just collapsed, and security came and they carried her out. So after it was over, I went to try to find out what happened, and it was a young girl who works there who just fainted, and she was fine. And I asked her to go home, and she didn't want to go home, and I had a car outside, and I said, "Can we take you home?" And no, and she.
Sure, the people there really don't want to hear Mel say "go home" at this point.
Anything but maybe you're fired for fainting.
I never thought
of the other words.
So
basically get a clue.
So she asked. I said to her, "It happened before." She said, "Not since high school." So it just seemed she fainted. So
and then another guy asking about health insurance. I'm like, health insurance. There's so many questions you can be asking.
So
now.
what I was shocked about is, and again, I thought you guys lost a step, okay? Because I remember in the old days when I'd have a shareholder meeting, okay, there would always be, but. We'd be having a shareholders.
We didn't set that. I swear to God,
no, it was just coincidental. Of course not.
No,
so what would
I swear on that one?
Right, and I swear.
Right. But we have passionate fans. I swear we did not set up those calls.
So that there were those calls, right? So I'm waiting now for my Opie and Anthony questions, and was sort of disappointed that I didn't get it. So in answer to it, so I have not had a conversation in all due respect, and I mean, as important as you guys are, I had not had a conversation until I saw Eric, late in the afternoon, and he had told me that there's a contract period or something coming up. This is the first I heard of it, and I know nothing about it. I don't even, believe it or not, I don't even know what you guys make today. So I'm sure it is bizarre.
It's ridiculous amounts of money. Don't look at our contract, but I'll tell you, it's a lot of money.
I'm assuming. So anyway, but that's all I know.
Compared to Howard, we got 63 days left. Mel.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
And are discussions going on?
No. I bet you're chomping at the bit to maybe even get a call from Robert Eatman, Super Agent Bob Eatman again.
He doesn't deal with Robert Eatman.
I don't think I've ever met. I'm not sure I've ever met him.
You ever take melatonin?
So, no, but in all seriousness, there are no discussions going on?
63 days and counting.
But there are no discussions? Or
I think the whole thing was, nothing was going to be done until the merger went through.
And
I'll make sure, all I can do is make sure that
and we want to continue. We love the freedom of satellite radio.
Yeah, and I think, the people at XM seem to be happy of everything. I mean, I'm not hearing saying, thank God you're here so you could fire them. No, no one said that. No one has said that yet to me.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm assuming that if in fact you guys want to stay, and if in fact XM obviously is happy and wanting to say, all I can do is facilitate, make sure that there are conversations.
And we got like a thing going on with regular radio.
Yeah,
how does that make you feel?
Well, here's my attitude on it, okay, because I've said it before. We're asking people to pay $12.95, right? We're asking them to pay for something. So the ability to the more we give them, that's the same, the less desirable it is. So if we started putting commercials on our, forget those few clear channel stations that XM is stuck with, right? If we started to put commercials, as an example, on our music stations, you'd sit there and say, why would somebody subscribe to satellite radio? Because they're going to hear those same obnoxious commercials there. So the more exclusive content you can have, the better off it is. So in a perfect world, okay, where I'm going to pay a good amount of money, right, it's going to be because the only way a subscriber can get it is on satellite radio. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if in fact somebody feels that they need to be on terrestrial radio. So as an example, we currently carry Sean Hannity. I'm a huge Sean Hannity fan, but Sean is on a whole lot of terrestrial radio stations, and he's on satellite radio. Without getting into amounts, you should assume the amount of money that Sean is getting paid is not really material, right? Because of the fact we love having them. But, there's an AM, FM radio generally every place where there's a satellite radio. I mean, there's not necessarily satellite radio everywhere there's an AM, FM radio. So if somebody wanted to hear something that's on terrestrial radio, they can just push the button. Now and you guys, I know it's different, right? So I know what you're doing different and stuff like that. But we had an important performer where there was a disagreement with the programming people on how much money he wanted, and he wanted to keep doing satellite radio. And what we did was we carved out a few markets where they were on, which were not so material to our subscriber growth, right? I mean, it wasn't New York, LA, Chicago, Philadelphia. I mean, it wasn't a top 10 market. It was sort of a few smaller markets.
This is the Bubba deal.
That's the Bubba deal. So in the case of Bubba, where, we've said, okay, you want to do a terrestrial radio and a satellite radio, fine. I understand why you want to do it. I wish you didn't. I wish, Sirius was able to justify the money you wanted, but, it's not. So if in order for you to do what you need to do and what you want to do, and he's a terrific talent, we're going to carve out, Tampa, 2 other, markets, and he's doing that. But why would I want Howard, forget you guys because you got it committed to be on in terrestrial radio? Why would people pay $12.95?
Right. Bubba said yesterday that if we stay with the new company, it's a deal breaker for him.
Are you guys and Bubba not?
I've never even met the guy.
Oh, okay.
I could care less.
So I mean,
like Ant said,
he's not on the board.
Yeah,
but
it's a deal breaker for him. So
it's a deal breaker for the merger.
And I would hope that Bubba, I think Bubba's a great talent, and as I said, it disappointed me, and I went to our programming people to see if, in fact, there was a way, to carve out more money for him, and what Bubba thought he needed or wanted was just more than what Sirius was prepared to pay. So this was a compromise, but it is a compromise because I don't think it's good. I think that if HBO started running commercials during those movies, or during their stuff, it would look like another channel, and why do you want to pay for something? You don't. I mean, you pay for CBS and your cable bill, but people don't sort of think about that. If it's just going to be another broadcast.
So basically, you're saying we could do both, which is good. That's what we needed today.
Okay. So, all right. What else can I answer?
Why don't we move on with the future? So the merger happened.
So I have, just so you know, because I mean,
you're a busy man.
I'm not. This is very important, but I have and I wanted to get here fast, okay? Because I didn't want.
Where you got to be?
I have a town hall meeting with all the employees. So the same
Sirius?
meeting at Sirius.
Okay.
So at 10:30.
Okay. All right. Really fast in the future, because now the merger went through. Everyone is really, really confused. Like, how is this going to work? The ABCs.
So let me give you just a few things, and I try not to bore everybody. If you combine the two companies today, we have $2.2 billion of revenue, right? Which makes us the second largest radio company in the world.
Wow.
So only Clear Channel is bigger than we are in radio, and we're growing, and they're not. If you combine the number of subscribers, we have about 19 million. The only company in the subscription business that's bigger than us is Comcast. So we have more subscribers than Dish Network, DirecTV, Time Warner Cable. So we now finally have a critical mass, a big company. We also are going to have some synergy, so there'll be cost savings and be making money down the road. If you're an XM subscriber, you're listening now, your radio will not be obsolete. Nothing will change, right? I mean, nothing will change. Somewhere down the road, probably in the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to announce that there's an opportunity for existing XM subscribers with the same radio that they have now to be able to get some content from Sirius. Not all of Sirius, but some content from Sirius. And by the way, vice versa, the same thing. So the Sirius subscribers will be able to get select XM programming.
Are you willing to say what some of that Sirius program would be available?
No.
Obviously Howard.
Exactly. Obviously Howard.
Would you go something like the NFL?
So here's what I've said. So I mean, so far, and what I've said, Howard for sure, and selected sports programming and other programming. So we will, as soon as we can, because we, got to look at contracts. So, the first question, if I now say what's going to be available from Sirius on XM, the next thing someone's going to say, well, okay, what's going to be available from XM on Sirius? And I haven't seen a contract.
Right.
So I have no idea.
Would you like us to be heard on Sirius?
Well, if in fact you were with the company.
Right. No, I understand.
Why wouldn't I?
Okay.
Sure. No, absolutely.
If we were with the company.
Well, no, I mean, you're telling me you have a contract that's up, and I have no idea anything about it. But if this were today, okay, why wouldn't I? I mean, you have a large fan base. You're entertaining. I mean, I think.
Would you keep this channel or just our particular show?
What else is on the channel?
Ron and Fez. I want to give a plug in for Ron and Fez. They're great.
What else other than Ron and Fez?
Violence programming.
Maybe Than and Sam. No, just kidding. Ron and Fez and us.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know.
That's pretty much it.
I don't know if that means a channel.
Well, we got some others, but we'd have to look at we'd have to have some discussion with the programmers. But
so let's assume that the programming people will sort of take a look at what is available and what's possible and make the decision. But, I don't know Ron and Fez well. I knew they worked for us in Washington at one point.
I extremely talented.
I know the feedback that I got from them was terrific. I have only good things, that I've heard about them. So if, in fact, our programming people said, that Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez would be part of that offering, that sounds great to me.
Awesome.
Will my horrible, boring Charlie Rose question hurt me during negotiations?
Is your contractual name the same name as you use on the air?
No.
Oh, okay, good. So this way I'll never know.
Not a picture on there or anything.
I have a question about, too, the one thing they keep saying in the papers about the iPods, and I guess content like spoken content stuff you can't get on an iPod is the best way to compete, because every article now with satellite, it seems like the media is just trying to shit on the merger.
So I think after this merger, right, there's just a tremendous amount of competition. I mean, I think the broadcasters are competition. I think HD radio, whatever that'll be, as it evolves, will be competition. Internet radio, Wi-Fi will be everywhere. You'll get it in your car. There'll be competition. iPhones, iPods. So I think our success is that we really want to have the best content. So it's not about content. It's ubiquitous. I mean, there's plenty of content that's out there. It's having content that can't be replicated elsewhere. And that's what our mission is, right? So if you start with us today being the second largest company in this audio entertainment space, so yeah, will there be internet radio companies? Yeah, but like which one is going to be our competitor? I mean, specifically, if you're buying a stock, you can buy, Clear Channel is going to become private, so we'll be the largest, publicly traded radio company. So you can buy a Sirius, or you can buy a what? You know, and I'm not talking about a device company. Apple's a great company and stuff like that. But what internet radio company, you know, are you talking about? Or, you know, what other kind of technology? So I think we're really well positioned, you know, to compete in the future. And I think it's real important, you know, which is why I'm here, right? I mean, I think important content is real important, you know, and as long as we're smart in being able to keep our focus on that, we think it's great.
What's the next step?
The next step is to make it happen. I mean, the issue is grueling as this has been, it's the easy part.
Right.
Right? I mean, now it's got to work. I mean,
for the XMers, when will they be able to start listening to Sirius programming? I know you said in the fall, but could you give people a taste before then?
You mean listeners? Well, no. What has to happen is that there's a certain amount of bandwidth.
Right.
Based on compression technology, that you're getting everything you get now. Right, everything you get now, you'll then be able to add some selected channels, few channels, right? If in fact we have, let's assume that there's an XM channel that is in a similar genre as a Sirius channel, but it's a better channel. Right. You know, I mean, it's programmed better, and you know, then why wouldn't we want to make it available to Sirius subscribers as well? So I think as time goes on, the content will morph toward each other.
Yeah, get rid of the redundancies.
But not just get rid of it, make them better. In other words, so if we both have a 70s channel, why not make the best 70s channel from both of those and make it available to subscribers on both services?
Right.
I mean, you know, if we both are doing 5 or 6 country music channels, you know, I mean, why do 10 unless there's 10 great ones? Why not do 5 really good and make them available on both services? And that's something that we would like to do as fast as we can, because the thing that we want to do is to make sure the churn. So, you know, you want to get additional subscribers, and then you want to keep them.
Yeah.
And I think the better our content is, right, the better our content is, the more we keep them. So that's where that focus
Can you
is.
tell people to start buying radios again? Because I know because of the merger, no one was buying. And I went into the Best Buys in the Circuit Cities, and those displays were like dusty, and they were pushed to the back, and because no one knew what was going on. So they're like, why am I going to invest in a new unit if I don't know what the hell this merger is going to do to me?
And you don't know how painful it was for me doing exactly the same thing, right? So, and I think what happened, and I've spoken to, you know, the CEOs of these, you know, Best Buy and Circuit City, is that if you think about Blu-ray DVD and HD DVD, and consumers were confused and they didn't know which one to buy, so they didn't buy anything
either. Right.
So you got now, it's like you got this AM radio and you got this FM radio, and they're sort of separate, and you don't know which one, you know, to buy, right? So the hope is that now that the merger's there, we'll be able to eliminate that confusion, be able to talk about the fact that both radios are going to work. You're going to be able to get, you know, the content, you know, the best of content. And by the way, just buy satellite radio. I mean, in other words, you know, from our point of view, I'm indifferent, you know, whether it's XM or Sirius. And the great news for the company combined is that every car company, you know, is putting, you know, these satellite radios in. And we all know from being in the radio business, if you want to be successful in radio,
Gotta
it's
have
the
it in
car.
And those deals were made a long time ago, and they're finally coming.
Penetration is coming up.
Finally, yeah, because a lot of these deals were like, well, starting in the year 2008, and it was 2005 when they made the deal. So that's going through the roof now.
So I told you guys that I got to leave. So I got to leave. So, but I do want to come back with the CDs I have, you know, of all of this stuff. And what I want to do, and what I really want to do, is play them all, okay, and be able to have the comment of why you characterize me. I mean, some of them I understood, but there was some that even I couldn't understand.
You know something? I would like to hear him, because I doubt any of that was me.
No, I
bet it was Opie.
You were out sick that day.
Yes, I think I was.
Or sleeping on the air.
It's absolutely terrific. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for everything you guys have done here.
Can you give me an example?
No.
Is it real bad?
Listen, I was born, you know, in a tough neighborhood, okay? And, you know, I mean, I grew up in New York City and went to public school and stuff. And I heard words that I had to go to Howard to ask me what they were.
Oh, boy. Well, maybe we start over now.
Sounds like a good idea.
Start over.
How about we say goodbye to Mel, and we thank him for coming like gentlemen, and we take a break, and then we all just go wipe sweat off our hands.
Mel, two things. Who does our agent talk to? Who's the boss?
And we'll announce that tomorrow. Okay. What's happening is that the assumption is going to be.
So someone will get a hold of Bob. I'm assuming at this point.
Yeah. So why don't we leave it that
like that? Okay. And the second thing is,
I'll have somebody do that.
Can we take the rest of the day off because this was a really tough interview for us?
And now that you're working for me, I don't know exactly what your schedule is, but if you're making a lot of money, I would assume that this is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week gig. So
constant.
There you go. All right, guys. Thanks, and thanks for everything
Mel,
you guys have been doing.
you.
You've been helping us get a lot of subscribers.
Mel, it was a pleasure seeing
Take
you
care.
again.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Mel Karmazin, everyone. Thank you, Mel.
We'll be back.
That's great. Thanks.
All right, we'll take a break.
Okay, but I mean,
No, go. We're taking a break. We'll be back.
Shock Jerks.
Opie and Anthony.
Well, that didn't go too well, huh?
Oh, that was wonderful.
And you heard from Mel. We could leave, but so you're lucky to have us still broadcasting today.
I didn't hear him say we could leave.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't either.
I heard it in there.
He seemed to be implying that if you're making a lot of money, you should.
Which we're not, so that meant we could have left. Who's farting?
I got nervous. That was the fear leaving my body finally.
Dude, holy shit.
He was fine. He was very
He's
cool.
intimidating.
Not as a guy, though. It was it was almost like he just came down and just started It's because you know that he could wreck your life if you wanted to. But as a guy, he just came in and was, just I don't know. He seemed pretty. He was comfortable.
Yeah. Rich, were you listening to the big interview with Mel Karmazin?
You know what I liked the best? How you turned, and it was right. It's true though, and I never realized this about you about the Howard thing. You guys were just on the defense.
Oh, that was a
Worried
lie.
about-
Stop.
Huh?
That was a lie.
I know, but how he made it look so real. I was really amazed at that interview. Just listening. If I was in the car,
You're amazed at a pinwheel retard.
it's true.
My Charlie Rose question, I thought.
Yes. That was such a please
Well, that was a joke.
get
Kevin.
off of
Yeah.
this. I
Was
know.
Charlie Rose a nice guy? But then he called me out and said it was a boring question. That's good. It's a good sign. First day on the job.
What the hell's he doing on one of the shows that
Exactly.
my platform?
Yeah, get the chinless dullard off the air.
Hey,
Right in the show.
where's Don Wicklin?
Ah.
Don, lucky to still have a job, Wicklin.
Well, he might have been fired on the.
Did he fire you on the elevator,
Did he
Don?
fire you on the elevator or in the hallway or something? No.
I didn't want to kid about it because it's going to be ugly for XMers in the near future, but
Real soon?
Some serious people, too, but probably much more excited.
But I didn't have the heart to ask him that because there's some good people that are going to be out of work down there.
I wanted to ask you about the shitty logo.
There's a reason Mel left for the day, I'm thinking.
But you have a new
He was there
logo?
yesterday. He's going back tomorrow.
Yeah, yesterday he did the town hall meeting with everybody. And
He's
then,
waiting for the wolf.
What?
No, right?
Yeah, the wolf.
What,
Yeah, the wolf to
the
kind of
wolf.
clean up all the blood and stuff, and he'll be back tomorrow.
The wolf will be here shortly. Yeah, he's a businessman. Always has been. He's all business. He knows the deal.
You like the interview, Donnie?
I was really impressed. Opie, seriously. I think you guys did a great job.
Oh,
You
thank
asked the
you,
greatest
sir.
questions.
Yeah.
You answered everything.
He's very.
I thought it was very helpful when I mentioned the most frustrating part.
Yes.
Because during a process, there's a lot of frightening parts. And I felt
Yes.
that really bringing it home.
What was the most you wanted to know? The most.
If anybody out there could have seen what a douche I was holding my pen, he should have taken it and fucking stabbed me in the throat.
You probably wanted to.
I was holding the pen like a gentleman's about to ask a
Yes.
question.
Excuse me. A gentleman is asking a
Gentleman's
question.
question, if I may.
What was the most frustrating part?
No, I stressed the, because the most would have made me sound like an asshole.
What was the most?
What was the most frustrating? Implying that there were many. But what
Yes.
was the most? I even tapped my pen like this.
You-
that commands
you
power.
douche.
Mel, what was the most?
His next interview, you're the answer. What is the most frustrating part of the O&A interview? You know what? You get it? I'm so glad I walked out.
I wish
I'm
I
so
wish
glad.
I was 20 feet tall so I could just bite through you.
That was a good line if I would have delivered it.
It was
right.
good. It was good to see Mel in the short chair. He looked like a little kid.
And then and fucking
That helped us, actually.
But then Steve comes over.
He looked like the kid in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, like, at the table
know.
on that date.
Steve comes over
Yeah.
and basically takes the headphones off of Mel's head, and Mel grabbed them like, "Hey, you fucking fruit, get your hands off me!" Hey, Steve, why don't you tackle him and make the headphones fall off that way? I thought that I would help him.
Let's go to the phones. They're chomping. Darren, North Carolina.
Yeah, the whole time Mel was talking, all I could think about was little Jimmy's Mel Karmazin bits.
Well, that wasn't a bad one. That was basically making fun of the person who screwed his name up. When I said Mel Karmazin, because somebody that was in Congress, what he was doing, that didn't have his name right. And it's like, it's not a hard name to get.
Yeah.
Steve, what are you doing?
They're whispering about things that men of their ilk understand.
We're getting the audio out to XM's PR department.
It's racist.
Texas PR department.
Yeah, it was so funny. I really wanted to introduce Steve.
Hello, Mr. Karmazin.
I had the chance outside, and I didn't do it in the stupid voice. So
you might know me from my band Foundry.
Hi, Mel. You'll know me for the next 3 weeks. You won't see me no more. No, it was just funny watching you pull the headphones off of him.
Because he was wearing one. Did you see how he put him on his head? He slapped
he almost
one of
ripped his ear off.
Yeah,
no, I didn't.
I'm sure he knew it was not right, and he was fixing it.
No,
but then you rushed in there and just kind of grabbed him off his head.
I fixed it for him.
Like it was a hat on
It was
fire.
courteous.
Could the Pest help us out? We're going to say some fine things about Mel Karmazin, and we need these tapes sent over immediately.
Oh, they'll edit them, make them sound horrible.
Nice things.
Horrid people
That's what
they are.
We should have claimed, they edit that crap. It's not true. Let's say hi to Jeremy in Cleveland. Jeremy.
Hey, boys, just wondering if your jaws are hurting from all the love fest.
All right. It was nice.
What are we supposed to do? Curse out? Hold on. Let's be realistic here for a second. What are we supposed to do? Curse out the CEO, the new CEO of the company we work for?
No,
answer me.
You cuss them out, but, you guys did kind of back down.
But what? What did we back down on? What did we not address? We addressed everything. We talked. What were we supposed to do? Get in his face? Give me an example.
You guys did this Ron and Fez talk pretty quickly. You moved on quick from that.
We what?
We mentioned Ron and Fez. Said they're a very talented show.
Hey,
What
fucko!
the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, fucko! We didn't have to mention Ron and Fez. It was never going to come up, you fucking asshole.
Fuck Ron and Fez in their fuckholes.
You're such a...
Sorry, guys. I wasn't trying to,
Jeremy, go fuck yourself.
Now you're nitpicking that
we purposely made sure we brought up Ron and Fez, you idiot. That wasn't going to come up in this discussion.
And
go
then
fuck yourself.
Mel said, who's on the channel? Opie and Anthony, and who else? Ron and Fez. And then Opie was in a really talented show. He goes, yeah, I had good feedback on them. And then Mel said, all right, well, who else? Like he's looking to know what the channel content
I went back
is.
to Ron and Fez again.
That guy's a dick.
Jeremy.
Let's
Was
go to
his name
Bill.
Jeremy, that guy?
Yeah, Bill in West Virginia.
fool.
Bill.
How you doing? I can't believe, Jimmy, you are the greatest.
Thank you.
When Steve came in and said he was cutting up sound bits for XM's PR department, and you called him racist.
Yeah, I just don't think that Sirius XM should move on in that direction with breaking departments down by race. Same joke twice. Good. That's my gift.
Let's go to
Charlie Rose, a nice guy. I'm Ted, the bad question asker.
Ted.
Mel, do you have a satellite radio that you like to hold? Oh, was I a nervous Nelly? It's Ted, the bad question asker. I'm a fool. Is Charlie Rose taller than me? God almighty. Was it chilly in his studio? Comment. God, am I awful.
Brian in Philly.
What's up, boys?
Hey, Brian.
Not buying that whole bit. At the end of 60 days, I think you're hearing, you're fired.
Absolutely not. He never would have showed up. Mel, the way it worked was we heard Mel's coming in. And we kind of bothered he didn't go through Roland, but we figured, all right, look, Mel wants to come in.
Do you want Mel Karmazin? Mel Karmazin.
But the thing was, it was like, that was a great thing. I mean...
show of good faith is what
yeah,
that
it
is.
was
In the
cool. He didn't
business
have to come
world,
in.
it's a show of good faith.
He came in and sat for 45 minutes. He didn't need to do that.
No.
So, no, we're not getting fired, dude. And I never thought we would. Why would you throw off a show? Why? Especially when I always raise the tough questions.
Oh, you were great,
Mr. Mel.
Yeah, I really...
Most frustrating. The most frustrating.
Someone should have put a fucking fish hook in me and caught a bass with it. Fucking worrying nothing.
Mel Fabersham.
It could have been worse. We could have had Rich Voss in here. Now, Rich.
Oh, that would have been so bad.
What would you make believe Don Wickland is the great Mel Karmazin? I'm
Or
calling
any
him
boss.
the great Mel Karmazin now. And make sure you get that tape off to Mel immediately. Now, Rich, what would you say to Mel Karmazin? You got a chance to make an impression. What would it be? Go ahead.
Well, in the future, could you see Opie and Anthony and Howard on the same channel, one in the morning and one in the afternoon?
Let's see, one of them watched 12 hours apart.
Thank you,
Dan.
that's a good question.
It's called an AM PM joke, Rich.
Actually, that was a good question. I can't falter for that. Maybe we should ask that. Who knows?
No,
I think he sort of explained it, but basically, there's nothing in it for him or the new company to just throw us on Sirius. But if you throw us on Sirius and make, them pay to hear us, then you're getting more revenue into the new company.
And here's the next question.
And the same with, their programming over here. Just throwing it on XM is not going to really help.
Well, what I don't understand, and maybe I got this wrong, I thought throughout the last couple of years, XM had more subscribers than Sirius.
They did.
They did. Then how, with more subscribers, would Sirius be able to take over XM?
Well, it has something to do with debt restructuring as to why it worked that way, and Mel was probably the stronger CEO. Not to knock the other ones, but I mean, come on, he's Mel.
It's a debt thing.
And it's a debt thing, but it's also, Sirius caught up. Them adding Howard was really, it was a smart move.
They never caught up.
No, but I mean, compared, XM didn't continue to beat them by as much as they were.
They were closing the gap big time.
Yeah, that's actually they're closing the gap.
Did Mel have to do paperwork? I'm assuming Master Poe made him do paperwork. Yes.
Sit down.
Yes.
Let's say hi to Kevin in Houston,
Mel,
Texas.
I have to search your bag.
Kevin?
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
what's up?
Hey, great show today, really. I got to tell you, I really respect Mel Karmazin now for coming on the show, but I got to tell you, these fucking listeners out there that bash you guys for, not asking the tough questions, shut the fuck up. Quit listening if you don't like it.
It's amazing.
It's so goddamn irritating.
They're not fans at that point. They're not fans at.
Fuck up, people.
Sorry.
It's like, what question should they have asked?
They're not. But let me just jump in. They're not fans at that point. They're haters. There's a lot of haters that are disguising themselves as fans, and the show's not going to change. This is what it has become, and if you don't like it anymore, if the show's passed you by, then go somewhere else. You're not a fan anymore. You're a hater. And you should get a bloody tampon thrown at your head.
Absolutely. Like, for instance.
Why should I have a treat?
That's right. Copper candy, as I call it.
Love it.
They disguise
like a Jolly Rancher.
But they disguise
penny
themselves.
Flavor.
They disguise themselves as
Jim's
fans.
joke.
But
they're not fans anymore.
The important thing here.
They might have been.
We have a redheaded woman out here who, sir, I take it you're with her.
Yellow.
She's lovely.
Yeah?
Are you a married couple or a dating couple?
Married man, Mr. Grady?
You married man, are you?
There's no mic out there. Can we?
He is, but
can we see your
not
fart
to
box?
her.
Is Steve out there?
Why's the guy waving off like it's a fucking aircraft carrier?
What's your name, miss?
Megan.
Hi, Megan. Why no fella with you? I'm not hitting on you.
Hi, it's Megan. Sure you aren't.
Megan's Irish.
Where are you from, Megan?
Philadelphia.
Welcome from Philly.
Going one.
It's called Philadelphia.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Today is Whip 'em Out Wednesday.
I know this.
Well,
I almost did it on.
Why don't you? Why don't you just to kind of look? We had a very big meeting. We thought it went well.
We need to relax.
We need to relax a little bit.
Oh my god!
We need to get the queer out of our systems because we behaved like a bunch of queers since 7 o'clock this morning. So, do you think eating healthy is going to extend your life?
All right.
We did it. We did the fucking View today, basically.
Yeah, just show us your feeders. Let's go.
Ma'am, can we see your bosoms? Oh, come on. The boy is clapping.
In my bra. I'm not taking my bra.
You don't have to take it off. Just flash real quick. No one's going to shoot the picture of it.
You can see him in my bra.
Okay, can we see that?
All right, listen. No, here's the deal.
Nice.
No, if you don't show the boobs, then everyone has to leave.
Oh, wow.
A little pressure.
You're
I'm
using
sorry.
that peer pressure
A little
thing.
peer pressure.
What kind of panties? You have a thong?
No.
What do you have? Do you have big awful ones?
Free balling?
Hipsters.
Boy shorts?
No.
What are hipsters? You have
I
two
don't-
skateboarders around your vagina?
Hipsters.
I'm good.
Swim walk.
As I'm talking to her, I'm pinching my dick shaft.
Wow.
And I wonder why I'm unpopular with the ladies.
Has nothing to do with your looks.
boy.
What's that, Rich?
Has nothing
I
to do-
heard you.
Is that her boyfriend or husband?
Neither.
It's my friend.
We already got through that.
How old a gal are you?
I'm married, but not to her. We're just friends.
Okay.
Oh,
You have a
wow.
boyfriend, Megan?
Okay.
Are you guys
What's
friends
that?
with benefits?
Yeah.
No.
You have a
No.
fella?
Pardon?
Do you have a
You
fella?
don't do none of that fucking. Because
Do I have
sometimes.
a boyfriend? No, I don't.
How old are you?
Pardon?
How old
I'll
are
be
you?
26 on the 25th.
Why don't you have a boyfriend? You're kind of
26.
attractive.
I don't know. Just hasn't.
You seem like
I
a
don't know.
nice
Right
girl.
now, I don't have one.
Were you ever
Hangs out
married?
with me too much.
What, are you in love? Oh, you have a wife. You're not in love with. How many tattoos you got, Megan?
I have this one and I have one on my back.
What do you have on your form? Let's hear.
Tramp stamp. You got tramp stamp.
Yes, a tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I heard that a couple of years ago. It was amazing.
Can we take a look at the clam?
The clam.
No, she's sleeping.
What is that on your form?
They're carpenter nails, a crucifix, Jesus Christ.
Maybe that's why you don't have a boyfriend.
That's right.
It's hard to think that a girl's going to put out when she has the Lord on her arm.
Yeah, and we just found out they use mason nails. They didn't use carpenter nails.
Whatever.
Hold on.
It's the 21st century.
No, normally specific carpentry jokes are very good.
Especially when it comes down to the nails. That's a very funny thing, the nail.
Mason nails are great. You can nail them to brick.
Can you? How do you know? Is that how you put your hats on?
Let's go back to the phone. Carolyn, Texas, what's up?
Hey guys, are you feeling better this morning now?
Yeah, I didn't sleep well last night because I was just thinking about this big interview with Mel Karmazin. First time we saw him in 6 years.
Are your nipples big or small?
Are your nipples big? We're not going to get anything out of her, Jimmy.
My nipples? I don't know.
Do you shave
Normal?
everything?
No.
What, her
Leave a
nipples?
little?
Landing strip. That's what you call it, right?
Is that it? Looks
This
like
is so
a
personal.
looks like a fiery runway.
What did I get myself into?
You came up here.
I did. I know.
We're just trying to be normal because we had a very tense day.
Yeah.
Hope he snapped at Rich. Poor Rich was very hurt.
Jimmy's very fucking horned up.
Rich right now, see, this is why he couldn't be in studio when Mel was here. Because the way he wears his headphones, he has one on his ear, like I do.
Oh, God.
But I have them both on the top of my head. Voss is wearing them like crookedly, like there's like a 6-inch gap between the the head and where the top of the band should be.
Well, I get an earache when I put it on.
I don't
this
care
one.
why you do it.
Our audience gets an earache whenever you talk.
It's when it's the way. Look at me, Rich. I can't wear them either, but look at how I keep mine fitted to my
See?
head.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Because it falls
He
off me.
puts it on his neck.
You just don't know what you're
You
doing.
have a bigger back head than me.
Yeah, it's where the brains are.
That's true. Wasn't a fucking Doberman pincher head. Little teeny walnut-sized brain. Hey, Stegosaurus brain.
Let's go to Dave in Tennessee. Dave.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I just wanted to say, first of all, that was a great interview, and thank you that all three of you have houses to pay for now.
Yeah, right.
Why, you were scared we were going to say something dumb?
I think the Opie of a few years ago might have handled that a little bit differently. But
Well, Logan gave me the speech yesterday. He goes, I want to make this perfectly clear. Beat Greg Hughes tomorrow, not Opie. I'm like, I'm the same person. What are you talking about?
But I felt that I got to the bottom of the issue.
You sure did, Jimmy.
Mel, did you find the elevator ride satisfactory? Ted, what floor is your office on? God, was like just worthless noise, worthless questions.
Let's go to Joe in Glendale. Joe.
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey.
First of all, I want to give kudos to Opie for just blasting out, are you here to give us our pink slips? I think that broke a lot of the ice.
Yep. He meant pink socks.
Yes. Well, he gave us the pink sock back in the day, that's for sure.
The question I have is, in a perfect world, if you had your druthers, would you rather still stay on in mornings, move, or you like do anything for the company, or are you going to be pretty steadfast?
Well,
now we're going into contract negotiations.
No, I know. I am. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm so ready to go back to afternoons. I'm so ready.
Here's why I like mornings.
We could continue in mornings. I'm not saying that's what we're going to do. But my God, what a life we had in afternoons. What a life we had.
I like mornings, believe it or not, and I'll tell you why. Because even though it fucks my nightlife up, I live like a human being, and I like the replays we get. If we go into afternoons, we lose a lot of the replays.
You like the life you lead?
Meaning, after this, I got to go to my lawyer's thing and close on the storage unit. All this shit I do, like real life living that I had to do with bank stuff, and just these little things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm working that, I'm up until 7 in the morning. I'm getting up at 2 and coming in at 3.
But you could do that up until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's not what I do, though.
Wait, you need a lawyer to get a storage unit?
All right.
The fact that
Oh, God, here he goes.
This is what I like.
He's
Rich
off
will
again.
always find the important part of the story.
Yes.
Two Jews walk into a bar, they own it. Isn't one of them sober?
But no, I'm serious. Why would you need a lawyer to get a storage unit?
Did they have Pilsner glasses? Or were they the regular water glass for the beer?
See, you guys exaggerate.
How old is St. Pauli girl?
That's a good question.
Is it a good question?
I'm Ted the Rich Voss. Yes. I'm Ted the Rabbit-Toothed Jew.
That's right.
I chew Nicorette gum and blow bubbles.
All right, let's continue here.
I'm as dumb as a bag of me.
Let's go to Charlie and Philly.
141 IQ.
What's that?
Yeah, I know.
141.
We went
You
over
don't
that.
have a 141 IQ.
We all saw the
You
Rock
don't.
animation. You don't have a 140.
You don't.
We do 141.
Shut
You know
up.
what IQ
Shut
stood
up.
for?
We'll do it again.
Shut
I'll
up.
do
Yeah,
it.
we will do it again. Charlie and Philly, what's up?
What's up, Bubba Boys?
Hey.
Hey, Rich, how are you?
What's going on?
That is funny, Charlie.
Virgil went through. Does this mean we can have, you guys are going to have Florence Brewer back in studio? Man, they were some of the greatest shows.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to do a lot of crossover stuff to help promote, because we'll want to promote our stuff on Sirius. We'll want to promote Jimmy's stuff over here, of course. It makes sense.
I think that's an obvious thing to do. But I'll tell you right now about Jim Brewer. There's a space. There's a space waiting for him in our fucking comedy show Saturday, man. How great would that be if fucking Brewer hit the stage for 15 minutes to say hi to some old pals? God, is Brewer?
That'd be awesome.
Is Brewer working today? I think our fans should really put the pressure on him. How great would that be?
And Brewer would kill. We love Brewer.
Because there was times we were going to do some things with Brewer over the last year or two, but it was uncomfortable because of the two different companies. But now there's no excuse. There is a spot waiting for him on Saturday if he wants it, in front of 8,000 to 10,000 people in his hometown.
I want to do the Coriolis Brewer show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to go in studio and do that show.
We used to do it a lot, Bonnie and I. It was fun.
Yeah, you fucking traitor.
No, I'm not a traitor.
I'm glad that's coming out finally. Traitor.
I fucking called for permission.
Well, yeah, but that was just me being nice. We figured you would do the right thing in the end.
I've done the right thing for
traitor.
years. Man, I told Mancow to go fuck himself.
Oh, woo.
I turned down other people. We'll talk about it. I've turned down a lot.
Yeah,
who else?
Who?
You know what? Don't worry.
Martha Stewart.
All I know is
Martha.
The sports guys.
All I know is I'm a loyal guy. That's all I know.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you need a lawyer to get storage bin?
Because believe me, it makes me sick to my stomach. It's because it's considered deeded property here in New York.
Deeded property.
Oh.
So you need a Jew lawyer to get in there and negotiate
Oh,
your
it's a
deal
Jew.
for you.
I didn't see you talking about the Jews when Mel was in like that.
What?
You're right, Voss.
There are. They're just lawyers.
They're the only lawyers?
Yeah, for the most part, only
The best
good ones.
You want an
You gotta
Irish
get a-
lawyer?
Yeah, you don't want that.
Next time you say you're good Jew lawyer.
It goes hand in hand with
Really?
just saying a Jew. Why does that sound derogatory?
Well, are you
a
serious?
a Jewish lawyer.
No, but you say go get your Jew lawyer. That doesn't sound.
It's a compliment.
It's hard to
They
say.
make great lawyers.
Go-
It's like also
go
get my
your-
Jew doctor.
Go get your Jew lawyer. Would you say that about a black person?
No, they're not
in
Jewish
a-
unless it was Sammy.
No.
Go get your Jew one-eyed entertainer.
Get my African American.
Oh, now it's African American. You know, it's a negative
black.
thing.
Raise the thing on the top of your head again. You look ridiculous.
Oh my
I
God.
can't.
Why can't you Jewish people understand that it's a compliment? It's a compliment to your intellect, your drive as a people.
No,
to
it's a compliment
get
if you say
up to lawyer or doctor or something like that is amazing accomplishments.
If you say most good lawyers are Jewish, compliment. If you say,
Jew lawyer.
If you say go get your Jew lawyer,
get your Jew lawyer on me.
It's go get your shine box. Was that a compliment?
I didn't say no.
Huh?
It's a compliment.
All right.
If I said go get my Italian lawyer, what's wrong with that?
Because Guinea lawyer is the equivalent of what you're
Yeah.
saying.
No, people say a Jew. They don't say, this guy is a Jew. They don't say, that's not a bad word. Is that a bad word as far as Jewish people
No,
go?
it's not a-
to
that's
use the
just the
word
way you
Jew
say-
as a...
You say that because it scares the person. I'm getting my Jew lawyer because you're thinking, oh boy,
It's
the
scary
Jews-
because
the
then
Jews
you-
know what they're doing when it
Right.
comes to lawyering.
Right.
By the way,
It's like being at an Aryan Brotherhood dinner. It's like
You've never been to my house then and see what a real one looks like.
I got to go backwards because I don't feel like getting the phone call later. Rich, I was kidding about your loyalty. You're loyal to the show because later on.
Oh, he's going to call and, I really did turn a lot down.
I just want to mention that I turned down this show and this show and this show, and because
me
of
and
that,
Bonnie were going to go on.
Sales and,
even the baby's turning things down for loyalty.
Rich is one of those guys, you get 2 voicemails, and you're like, 2 people wanted to talk to me today, and then you realize that he had more to say, so he actually fucking called back.
And another thing, just so I can make my point.
We all know you're loyal to the show, Rich.
The
We're just
baby
making
turns 1
jokes.
tomorrow. 1 year old tomorrow.
Wow, it's been a year already?
Yep.
Jesus.
Kid's beautiful, man.
Thank you.
No joke.
It's creepy.
Good morning, people.
Oh, yeah, it's still morning.
Also, good morning to all the people listening to us at Sirius.
Well,
they're listening.
Isn't that the same company?
Yeah, but it's 2 kind of
Sirius
separate companies,
XM?
sort of, still. Because, you have 2 separate units. Until we start sharing program, then I would acknowledge that we're kind of one big happy family.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get word yesterday that the bigwigs are taking a little look-see.
Should have played best of.
Yeah, no kidding. So they're listening over there.
Well, hi. How you doing?
Our old boss called yesterday.
Call
Jeremy.
in.
Remember Jeremy?
Yeah.
Jimmy, he called to say hi yesterday.
He thinks I don't like him.
Well,
what?
You did say some awful things about him.
I was awful. I was just mad because I thought he didn't help me out. But as far as he really thinks I actively don't like him. That's not true.
Look, let's face it. We said awful things about everybody.
Sure.
We really did. We were in the heat of competition in a very competitive business with our futures hanging in the balance. So everyone said very nasty things about each other's company and the employees they're in. So what are you going to do? Now we're merged. We're one company. And what do you want from me?
And we'll see what happens.
And now you're drinking champagne cocktails out of the Sierra Mountains.
I worked at NEW with his father.
But
you know how many times I said to Mel Karmazin off mic yesterday? Yeah, you know it's entertainment. We're just trying to entertain.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Because he called us out on a few things. I'm like, Mel, you should know better than anyone. This is entertainment. We're just trying to entertain.
And you know something, though? He does know.
He gets it.
The guy knows what this type of radio is all about.
He gets it to a point.
He was...
He just, he's a money guy.
He was a great guest, man. Honestly, it was fun. Let's be honest. We were all trying not to say the stupid wrong thing, but he was very engaging, and it was almost like that's the most time I've ever spent with a boss.
It has been.
I've never spent that much time with a guy who could fire me immediately. Not even Elo. I mean, we spent brief periods of time, but never for 45 minutes on the air.
45 minutes like that on the air. Yeah, I mean, initially, what's his name? Who was the guy that was in charge of XM when we first got here?
Hugh Panero.
Hugh Panero. I mean, what? We didn't get 2 seconds with him, and the second you open your mouth to say something, he'd start talking. He never wanted to listen to anything that was being said. That's one thing I noticed about him.
Our first meeting was awful with him.
Yeah.
His opening line was, I'm not a fan of you guys, but I understand why it will work for XM Satellite Radio. I'm like, wow.
Thanks.
Wow, thanks for that.
And then Nate? I didn't hear. We had one meeting with Nate.
Nate Davis, who's now leaving the company as well.
Yeah, we had one meeting with Nate.
Yeah.
And that I think that was a little strained, to tell you the truth, because I don't think we agreed on certain policies of certain content that was allowed on our show and should be steered away from on our show.
Well, the one meeting we had with him was right around the Imus controversy, and he openly said that he would have fired Imus as well, and I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut right now and just not
wait for Mel to take over. That's pretty much it.
At that point, it wasn't a bad thing that we knew a merger was going through and Mel would be the boss, because Mel absolutely wouldn't have fired Imus.
I don't think he would have.
No fucking way he would have.
Mm-mm.
He just wouldn't have. Unless the advertisers really started completely bailing, then from a business standpoint, he would have said, wow, this isn't good business for me. That's why I got to get rid of him. Not because of what Imus said.
See, Mel doesn't give off CEO energy. Like, he gives off like he's a regular dude. He's a guy. But he's a CEO. He doesn't give off that like you can't connect with energy like most of those guys. You feel like you never live.
Be a GM sitting in one of his meetings when he's asking about how much the station billed.
Oh yeah,
those poor bastards.
Yeah, we got to see fun Mel, not I'm boss Mel or business Mel. We got to see that's as fun as he gets.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, I'm sure he wields a hammer when he has to.
Oh yeah,
you don't run Viacom. And then he was refusing to have. I mentioned the Charlie Rose interview.
Yes, I remember that question.
It was a fun moment. But in that interview, Charlie Rose kind of pinned him because he was like, "No," he's like, "You never went out to like dinner with Sumner Redstone." He likes to things like it's family, and let's go out. And Mel's like, "Well, I was busy, I couldn't have time." And Charlie Rose, you didn't want to go out to dinner with him. It's like, no, I didn't. Like, he just refused to eat with Sumner Redstone when he was the boss.
Yep.
And I love that, which means I have no shot at a dinner. I actually, this is how pathetic I am. I had a closing yesterday on my storage unit, and I said to Ope, dude, he's coming in at 9:30. Will we be done by 12? There was a part of me that thought, Mel may go, let's grab some lunch.
Holy mackerel, are you delusional?
Yes, I honest to God thought he might have said, look, we're having an intercompany lunch. We'd love you to be a...
Yeah, come and show up for lunch.
Sounds like something I'd think.
We've known him off and on for 10 years, and he once offered us a bottle of water.
Bottle of water in the office.
Yeah, that's as social as he's
grand office
going to get with you.
My goal with this new company is to dine with him once.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Even if I just find out where he's eating and show up in the restaurant, give a quick nod, like a creepy stalker.